Hi everyone, Omololu here. Uh, First of all, I'd like to thank God for keeping me alive, and I'd like to thank my family. I'd like to thank my fans, my friends, for the response I've been getting from them and the agitation to respond. Honestly, I wish we didn't have to be talking about these things now, 20 years later, but it is what it is. Uh, so I'm gonna try and be straightforward and not take sides. I've listened to the interviews, and I'll be honest, I've not listened to all of Idris's interview. I had to skip parts of it, but I'll go back and watch the full thing later. I've been a bit busy. Uh, Now, for the sake of the record, to keep the record straight and to help people to have a better understanding of what happened, that's why I'm making this video. So please, here goes. First of all, I give thanks to my late father, Venerable S.O. Ogunleye, who decided to come back with an organ from Sierra Leone after his studies at Fora Bay College. He came with the harmonium with which I learned how to play the organ. Because without being able to play the organ, there wouldn't be Omololu, the producer. Yeah. Now, I also thank Mr. Benga Omolewa, who was the organist of St. Stephen's Cathedral, Ondo, where I became his assistant, for welcoming me with love and showing me more things about classical music. I give thanks to him. I also would like to thank Taye Owukoniro, who was the uh, producer of many of those movies, Yemi My Lover, the Yemi My Lover series of movies. Uh, most of the soundtracks were produced by Taye Owokoniro. Now, Taye Owokoniro was the keyboard player for Sashino Peters when he came to perform in Adeyemi College, Ondo. And Taye, alongside Ali Baba, the drummer, and the other instrumentalists, they were the ones who opened the way for me to come to Lagos and be an organist, because I had opened a show for Sashino Peters. Many thanks to him also, you know, I for being the one who was to come perform that day, and I happened to be the one who opened the show while the audience were waiting. I was pushed to the stage by my core members of the marching band that I played with in Ondo. My sister attended that ADME College of Education that time. But all I'm saying is that I'm giving thanks to those people, because without their influences and the moves that they made for me, there wouldn't be Omololu, the producer. Of course, without God, there wouldn't be Omololu at all. I give glory to God, all the glory to God. Now, let's go and tackle this issue. How did it begin? I was in Dolphin Studios in 1997, and a man walked in tracksuits, I believe. He said, "I'm Remedy." It was the only one that came as an artist, saying, "I want to record this particular song." And now, if you were around us at that time, what we normally did is that we would go straight and say, can we hear a flow of the song, especially the chorus? He does this flow and does the rap, and of course I could imagine while it was flowing that he probably would need somebody else to sing, which he told me that after a few seconds, I'm gonna need somebody to be singing while I do the rap. So we had just finished a soundtrack, a movie soundtrack. The movie is called Rampage. Rampage was screened in many of the higher institutions in Nigeria. So, and I could remember very well that the voice, the voice that sounded, like the best one to match what he was doing, was Eddie's voice. And now Eddie sang on the main soundtrack for that movie. There was a guy called Big Chin. He was the rapper on the soundtrack, but I didn't remember how to contact Eddie. So I told Idris, I played the song to him. I said, "Do you like this voice?" "Oh yeah, I like it." "Okay, if you want to get Eddie, you need to go to Yaba Tech, look for Big Chin, and you locate Eddie." That's what I did. Now, you mentioned the fact that he has this plan. We had this plan to sample Liberian Girl like Michael Jackson's Liberian Girl. And so I I said, no problem. Are you going to come with the instrumental? I don't have that instrumental. He said, yes, I'm going to come with it on a CD, in, from the first session. We booked the sessions for him to to come and do the recording after having an agreement, a verbal agreement. Now, he comes with a CD, and I extended the sample. It was just about 1 minute 50 something seconds long. I'm the one that extended it to make it a full length track to fit the lyrics of Mio Shakomo. Then I played all the percussion that you hear on that particular recording was played by me on an Ensoniq ASR 10 sampler. The same sampler is what I used to sample that thing, and then I played the percussion, all the shakers that you hear. There's a digital talking drum that I added to it. I added that from the Ensoniq sampler. Now we did all of this additions. I played everything that you heard that you hear on that particular final product. The electric piano, the Glockchen. I padded a Glockchen with the electric piano, to give it that belly vibey sound. Yeah, something close to Wasiu's electric pianos on those recordings. Yeah, Giorgio, my dear me. There's a keyboard that I actually like. I like the line. So that was what I was trying to have a feel of that, and we did that. Now there were subsequent sessions, and I saw Tony. I saw Tony Tetula, and I could imagine maybe Tony was there, but it wasn't fully comfortable. And then so I kind of like figured maybe it was more for the financial angle of the project, but that was not my business. I need to interfere with that, but I was watching. Tony is a likable guy. I liked him straight away, and that's what I've been saying. We don't all have the same singing skills, but some people have added presence. Their presence alone makes people want to even listen to you, and Tony has that. Anyway, let's move forward. So I did all the recording. I recorded their vocals on my instrumental that I've now created, and I did a pre-mix of the whole recording, and then an instrumental version of an instrumental take on a DAT. They were supposed to come for one final session where we will record the talking drum, the live talking drum. And what happened next? They didn't come. They did not come. So already I knew something was up. Weeks later, I'm hearing the song on radio, and I'm hearing the talking drum on it, and I'm like, oh, okay. This guy doesn't come. They were still owing me. Idris still owed me 3,000 or 5,000, which, I mean, if you look at it, the group they still owe me 3,000 to 5,000. But Idris was the one that I had an agreement with. Now I don't need the money anymore. But all I'm saying is, I'm telling you what I know. Yeah. So that went, and then the album comes out. I'm being told that programming done by Omololu at Dolphin Studios. Was that the only thing I did? No. When you came to me, you were looking for a producer. You couldn't find one producer. They forwarded you to another one. You told me the sound that you imagined in your head. I brought that sound to life. I made it a reality. That's the work of a producer. I contributed to the length of your rap. Yet I mixed the sound together, applied effects. A producer also directs the mix of the instruments and the entire thing to make it come together. I did all of that because my engineer Paparino, who is a witness to all of this, the beginnings of it, traveled. He went to the US midway to halfway to finishing that project, towards the end actually, but he was not there in the final, maybe like last two sessions. So I had to take on the role of the engineer and the producer at the same time. So I did all of that work, and then you come to me and say, programming done by Omololu at Dolphin Studios. No, that's not what I did. I produced the track for you. You only had an image of the sound in your head and in your feelings. I'm the one that gave you the sound that you thought you needed in order to convince the listener that look at my music. Can't you see that this is awesome? Won't you dance? I'm the one that gave you the sound that you used to achieve that. So that's the producer, you know? So anyway, we did all of that. And of course, you know the things that started happening after. I of course I argued it that I'm the producer. Of course, with my little voice, they had bigger microphones, they had radio stations, but I did a couple of interviews, and I let many DJs know that I produced that song, and you don't need to look too far to have the proof. I'm the one that made many of the young. The subsequent songs that were produced on radio, I'm the one that they were coming to. I produced. There was a time that 75% of the songs that were played on radio, when it comes to pop music, were songs that I produced. Yeah. So in the clubs, it felt great to hear the things that I produced being played in the club. If look at what's it called, the Crazy Cultures Oya Ojukwa. Can't you see that that's the same producer? I did that. Why is it that Wenger Awe, the so-called producer, couldn't replicate any sound close to Mio Shakomo, so many times over so many years? Because I was the one who did it. Yeah, my car followed. I really give thanks to God for somebody like Tony. He had that survival spirit that I'm going to do this. They're putting me down, but I'm not gonna stay down. Tony came to me with my car, and I did that. It came with the earthquake. They were in the studios, and they had their own contributions, especially to the lyrics of my car. Yeah, I did that my car the way that I did it because at that time Willow was all over the place in Nigeria. Nigerian artists were not really performing shows, so we needed something close to that, but while still retaining the hip hop feel. If you listen to the guitar, it's one of those like the Lekpa Gau kind of guitar. Yeah, we did all of that, brought things together to create that that feel of that the hip hop, but the high life, the Makosa, it's little Makosa feel that you hear on that track. So all I'm saying here is that why would anyone think that they can claim somebody else's credit while not even being there at all to even add one instrument to the track, to decide on the direction of the sound, to decide on the direction of the mix? I did all of that. You had no multi-track. I had the multi-track. I still have a mini disc master with Judile instrumental on it because that was my working tape. I was producing jingles. I was doing commercials. I was creating. Chacomo wasn't gonna be rocket science then for me because I'd done many other projects that challenged my talent to make to create fusions. I was known for that, for being able to create fusions between several genres. So anyway, this is what I know about this incident. It was Remedy who came to me. There was no ready-made sound when he came to me that had their voices on it. No, it was after they had that interview at Ray Power. If there's a tape of the interview at Ray Power that showed both guys, Remedy and Eddie, saying that I was their producer and Paparino was the engineer. But they were not allowed to say that in subsequent interviews. And I knew something was up. I knew people were, greed was playing its part in the background. I know about Soul Records. Soul Records were responsible for the first contract. It was supposed to be a 3-track album. Giacomo, Jujile, Belinda. Belinda is my instrumentation. The base of it still remains my instrumentation. They just added some things and changed a few things. So it's the 3rd track that I should have produced for them. I produced Judile. That's my instrumental. That's my stereo track. that was lifted, and then they had to add something and release that track. Yeah, so all I'm saying here is that this is what I know. So it's left to Nigerians to make up their minds. You know, add everything that you've been hearing together. I have no real dog in that fight. Right now, this current fight, I don't have any dog in that fight, but I need you to know the truth. For the sake of Afrobeat, to set the record straight regarding Afro hip hop. I saw that documentary about, the one that was done by Ayo Shonaya and Egmo Chemo. You know, we talked when I came to Lagos. You to London. You were the person who put me in a cab to go to Uncle B's place in Kilburn. How did you forget the fact that you needed to speak with me? You needed to feature me on that documentary. I don't know. I don't know why you never tried to reach out to me to have my say on that documentary. But it's between us and God. God knows why things are the way they are. But nobody can take my contributions away from the Nigerian music, the new Nigerian music. There are pioneers that are being kept in the dark. That are being sidelined. When it comes to the story of this Afro hip hop, where Pop Play is there. Pop Play has his contributions. Nelson Brown has his contributions. The people who produced Daddy Shoki and all of them had their contributions. Why are we doing half work when it comes to documentaries that will stay last for a long time? Anyway, that's sorry for another day. I know myself. I know the gift that God has given me. I bless God for all He has done for me, and He's going to do more. I've done many other things after that track. Like I said, I did the entire album of my car. I produced the Tony's cover of that. What's it called? Fefe. I did Crazy Culture's Jupa. I did Rugged Man's Waiting Day. I did my own Nami and You. I did my own Baby Tete Wale. I've done other tracks and other great things after that. So that track is important, but it's not gonna be the alpha and omega of my career and my contributions to Afrobeat. I wish we don't have to be talking about this now. I wish what we are talking about is the fact that these people are recording new songs with new producers with contributions from the likes of me and Paul Play in the studio. That's what we should be talking about. We should be hearing that they're getting the royalties that have not been paid to them for a long time. You guys need to come together and stop all the fighting so that you can get your monies. Anyway, that I don't want to lecture anybody, but thank you guys. I'll probably be doing more interviews in the next couple of weeks. Follow my channels, some of them on Instagram and Facebook. OR_MOORE. That's my Instagram account. Search for Lulu or More Ogunleye on Facebook. You will find me. Thanks a lot. I appreciate your support. Thanks to my family. Thanks to my sister, my immediate sister. You're the best. Thanks to everyone who have really been there for me. Thanks for my childhood friends who have been calling me. You have to set the record straight. Many thanks to Kayode Samuel. Mr. Kayode Samuel, God bless you. You gave me my first album contract. When you heard Baby Tete Wale, you were the first to pay in pounds for signing up an artist at that period. The new Nigerian music had one big person who was spending money. He was sending me money from London because he signed me on due to my song Baby Tete Wale. You gave me money for the video. And I learned a lot from you when it comes to how the music business is done in the Western world and the things that we could adjust in Nigeria. You showed me how royalties work. You brought Damon Albarn, got me on the album. You put me on the Tony Allen album. I can't thank you enough. You are the one that God used to actually bring out my own music to Nigerians. God bless you so much. Thank you. I'll see you guys again. Thanks.